Here's another one that could be a whole other podcast. Why do modern players struggle so much with tackling? How has targeting changed the game?
When do they get to practice it? I mean, I was talking about.
So you played 20 years ago and you're coaching now. Talk about the differences.
I played 20 years ago, and that's being kind. I mean, it's, getting close to like almost 30 years ago. And before that, when I was 7'8", as I mentioned, being a ball boy, it was rugby, like the Seattle Seahawks heads up, no helmet to every day of your life.
Yeah.
Like
We
elementary
scrimmaged
school.
every day.
Every elementary school. I'm talking about as a kid. I'm talking about as an 8-year-old where I'm running around. We're tackling to the ground. I mean, we're just smacking each other. And then, in high school, it was like practice was – I remember having a collision with one of our linebackers, big guy that was a heavy, like just a heavy-shouldered, just dense guy. And we smacked, like a guaranteed concussion. And there was like a bruise on my forehead, and it was like a badge of honor when I got in the locker room. Yeah. I mean, that was like, you made it when you like that. I was proud of that. And it's barbaric to talk about now, but we tackled every day of our lives. That's all we did. And now there's no way to practice it. You can practice it. If you practice it the way you need it to go out and win championship level football games in the Power 5 consistently, you're going to get fired 3 days into your practice. You'll never make it to game day. And then, okay, so how do we practice? You can't make excuses. So you've got to simulate it as best you can. And there's equipment that's out there and there's these things. But it's pretty hard. I mean, when you think about, we're watching, just go to North Carolina with the 2 backs in 2020. And it's like the obvious thing. I'm watching football as a fan. Whoever else is playing, just like our fans, I'm sure, where it's like, make a tackle, make that tackle. We can't tackle. And they're right. Like, I'm saying the same thing, but it's like, how many times has whoever it is been in a real situation where he's had to bring something like that doesn't want to go to the ground, down to the ground? I mean, these kids, they're not familiar with it. It's amazing to me how many times, and you pull up film, you can watch it all the time, you see a kid who has every physical feature you need to arrive at the play, that it's like Ricky Bobby don't know what to do with his hands. It's like they don't know what to do with their head. Like, they're like, where does this go? Yeah.
Which side of the body does it go? Absolutely.
And it's not even like Coach said, get it here. Coach, they just haven't been in that situation. I can go right now, my kids, my 8 and 6-year-old, I'm a big punching bag. Like, that's all I am when I'm at home. They just beat me to death. But I could go form tackle them right now, just like I did when I was 8 years old, like I was doing it on the playground, when teachers were like, you guys got to calm down. You're getting too rough. Sure. It's 2-hand touch. And so we rep it and practice it. But what that's changed, that you don't get to practice it. And what's also changed is, by and large, those guys that we were tackling 20, 30 years ago, they're a lot better. And everybody 20, 30 years ago was putting 9 of those 11 guys right here in this 5x5 box, and 2 of them out there, where now there's 3 or 4 out there. And when they get the ball, it's like there's a whole lot of grass between you and your next guy. So there's a lot that goes into it. That's not to make excuses. It's difficult, but it is a good argument for why, when we talk to officials, like, at least change some of these rules. Yeah. Like, don't make everything for the offense, because we're already battling enough. Like, give us something. Make offensive pass interference, however long he is down the field on his route, make it a spot foul and back him up that far.
Or call offensive face mask every now and then.
Give us, or offensive like targeting.
Yeah,
when these big backs
when they put their heads down, there's nothing you can do about it.
Or when a defender, Jermaine Waller. Watch the play where Jermaine Waller's returning the interception against West Virginia at the end of the game. Watch how he gets blindsided. Yep. Had the receiver that hit him been a defensive player, that receiver would have been out for the rest of that game and half the next one.
Yep. Yeah.